Maria Dillard, Sheila Galeen, and Courtney Glazer.
Hello, good morning, guys. How's everybody feeling? Okay, this is one of my favorite things to talk about because I truthfully believe you can have all the skill set in the world. You can have the most beautiful Instagram. You can have everything going, but if your mind is not right, and I really want you to hear me because I know you've probably heard this your whole life. You know, you gotta have a positive attitude, but I really want to dig into this with you and teach you not just why you have to have your mind right, but how to do that, okay? So I am going to talk to you about, a little bit about me in this industry. I've lost a lot more than I've won, okay? So we all have. Would you agree, ladies? We've lost a lot more than we've won, but we've stayed in the game. We've kept our jerseys on, we've kept our helmets on, and we have bulletproofed our minds. And I want to really dig into that because it was a concept that was taught to me and it didn't really make sense until it did. We don't bulletproof things so that they don't happen, right? Think about the things in your world that are bulletproofed, whether it be your bank, the vault, whether it be the president's motorcade. We bulletproof things that are most likely going to be under attack. And it doesn't have to be physical attack. It's going to be, and in our line of work, it's going to be emotional attack. And so knowing that out of the gate, like, hi, if you're new, sorry, spoiler alert, but you will be under attack emotionally in this industry. This is sales. And you will be told no. You will handle things that do try to throw you off course. But if you can bulletproof your mind, you can armor up and you can stay in the game. But I want you to do that proactively. A football player does not come and put on their pads and their helmet once they've been injured, okay? They know that's what they need to get out there and play the game, and it doesn't scare them. I want you to leave here equipped with a bulletproof mindset so you know things may get hard, I may have obstacles, but I already know that. That doesn't scare me, and I know exactly what's going to happen when that does happen, okay? So I have notes, or else I'll go off on a tangent. So you want to bulletproof your most valuable things because they will be attacked, not if, but when, okay? And I don't want us to prepare for the negative. I want us to prepare for the inevitable. And when I mean attacked, I don't mean like, a raccoon in an alley. I mean emotionally. I mean when you're vulnerable. I mean when you're tired, when your child's sick, when someone leaves your team, when a customer rejects you. This business, you're going to experience all of those things, but when you become immune to it and you know it's just part of it, you're able to armor up and keep going anyways, okay? Another word I wrote down is offense. Okay, isn't it so much more fun to be on offense? Who loves sports out there? I love sports. I'm sorry if there's any D-line in here, but I love sports and I loved nothing more than to be on offense because you have more control. And if you wake up every day and you're like, I'm gonna be playing on offense, I'm gonna have the ball in my court, I promise you, you're gonna have a better mindset and you're gonna feel empowered and equipped to take action on all of those other things, those IPA things, the posting, the speaking to people, that will all come easy once your mindset and your mentality are there. So you've got to know your personal obstacles, okay? I know these are just a few that I wrote down because I want you to think, if you're going, well, I don't have an obstacle, we all do. I do, Sheila, Maria, we all have obstacles. Is it comparison mode? Is it imposter syndrome? Is it disappointment? Is it rejection? Is it noise in the industry? For some of us veteran leaders, there is always going to be a personal obstacle. The best thing you can do is be self-aware, call it out, and give it no attention. I'm not the type of leader who lives in a world of fake positivity. I don't believe in that. I know, I mean, if you know my story, like my mom just passed away. Life's gonna serve you up some lemons. But I also know I get to choose whether I get out of bed, take my Thrive, and put one foot in front of the other and keep moving with my life. It doesn't mean you won't go through hard, but it means when your mindset's there, you're gonna choose how you do it. So your mindset is how you view it. Your mentality is how you do it, okay? Prep and plan. I am such a big believer that you will get burnt out, which I believe is part of a mindset. Whenever you think about driving a car, you drive a car and you don't fill it up with gas. You don't put air in the tires until it's too late, right? Now you're on, what are you on? If you're not on offense, you're on defense, right? I want to teach you that if you can proactively take care of yourself, work your business, take your breaks, you're not going to get burnt out. We've all been there in our careers, but when you can say, okay, on Sundays from 12 to 3, it's family time. Or I know my kids get home from school and I'm going to help them with homework. You're going to be able to prep and plan for any of those hard things. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but doing math with a teenager, that's flipping hard for me, okay? I know that I need to get my other stuff done before they come home. So you don't need to remember all of that, but remember 2 words, prep and plan. Prep and plan. Prep and plan when you're going on a trip. Prep and plan whenever you may be having surgery. Prep and plan whenever you know you might be moving. There's a wedding. There's a birth. Prep and plan for this business the same way you would if it was a brick and mortar. Lastly, I'm going to say this again. Your mindset is how you think. Your mentality is how you do it. I want to ask you, what is your slogan for this year? Okay, for me, it is, I want you to be a little bit cocky, but not arrogant, okay? I want you to carry yourself with, no matter what happens in your business, that you, I literally have a pair of pajamas that say this, hashtag told you so. Told you so, told you I was still gonna win, told you I was gonna still keep going, told you I was still gonna get paid on next Tuesday, told you people still love Thrive. Whatever it takes, WIT, that's another one of my mindsets. I'm like, I will do whatever it takes to be successful because the life I have created depends upon it, and all in. I'm talking literally, you don't know how to swim, you're at the deep end, and somebody who you love and trust goes, I can teach you jump in, but you can't wear your floaties. Are you that all in your business? Ripping off your floaties, jumping in the deep end, knowing all I have to know is I can tell myself I can do it. I can tell myself this is possible. I'm armored up. I know it's going to be hard. I know that there's going to be obstacles. I always say there's going to be potholes in the road to success. You get to decide if that just goes whoop whenever you drive over it, or if it throws you completely off track and you stop driving. I'm not going to stop driving. I'm not going to stop winning, no matter what obstacle comes my way. And that is literally a line in the sand moment that I made a few years ago. No, this wasn't when I went 200K, y'all. This was a few years ago of, I asked myself these questions. Do I still love the products? Heck yeah. Who's loving their GLP? Woo! Okay. Do I love the comp plan? Do I believe in Jason Camper? And I have never said no to those questions. So I know anything else is nothing more than a temporary feeling. And that is one of my obstacles where I struggle is I'm very emotionally charged. But Sheila is going to talk to us about people like me and how you can rein in those emotions and stay in control. So Sheila, take it away.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, that inspires me all the more. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about emotional maturity, but the things you have on the screen are what consists of emotional maturity. So I think back to when I started, and I took the products, and I didn't feel like I was a poster child for promoting the Thrive experience. I didn't know a thing about vitamins. I was overweight. I didn't work out, and I didn't know all the things. But what I did know was that I wasn't having headaches anymore. I was loving the all-day energy. I was a morning person for the first time in my entire life. I was sleeping through the night, and my aches and discomforts were alleviated. And that alone gave me reason to have a positive mindset, to basically learn from one of the best the best in the business, let's put it that way, and to be coachable. And so when you have that growth mindset, you believe you can learn, improve, and rise even when things are hard, even when you don't necessarily have that faith in yourself, but you know that you can do better, that you can learn and be coachable. So a growth mindset helped me stay consistent when others quit. Bounce back from the nose and keep showing up. See challenges as lessons, not roadblocks. And stop comparing and start evolving. I'll tell you, comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Look at those that are killing it on those leaderboards and be inspired rather than defeated. In this business, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be coachable and willing to learn more. Your mindset will either fuel your fire or keep you stuck. So I want you to think about this when you think about fixed and growth mindset. Believe your potential isn't fixed. Believe your efforts matter. And believe you can figure things out and you're on your way to great success. So let's talk about self-awareness, probably my favorite topic. Here's the thing, in this business, you're going to have that heart-to-heart talk with yourself in the mirror frequently. Not never, frequently. And what does that mean? That means that you're saying, when you're feeling stuck, you're saying, what can I do better? What piece of the puzzle am I missing? Am I reaching out to people? Am I being consistent? Am I showing up on social media? Am I in contact with my upline leadership? Am I showing up to the Zooms, to the calls, to all the things? You are self-employed. And what does that mean? That means you don't have a camera in your home watching you to see if you're doing all the things. That means that you don't have a boss making sure you're on task and doing your planned activities for the day, doing your income producing activities. Think about it like this. You're on a weight loss journey, which I've been on, and you know you gotta weigh in on Saturday, so you do all the things, but at night you have this calling to your pantry and you're eating ding-dongs and ho-hos. But when you get weighed in on Saturday, guess what? They don't know you've been eating ding-dongs and ho-hos, and you go, I don't know why I gained weight this week. Like, I ate chicken 3 days a week. Like, no, you have to be accountable to yourself. And this business is no freaking different, you guys. It is no different. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. So keep that in mind and have that growth mindset and be self-aware, because it's not about being perfect, it's about being honest with yourself. Honesty is going to get you very far in this business. So here's your homework. I want you to have that heart-to-heart with yourself in the mirror. I want you to say, what's working? I kind of do this, but what's working in my business right now? Where am I holding myself back? And am I working with intention and showing up daily? And when you're honest and you know your strengths and weaknesses, that's when you can make change. Here's the thing, you don't decide your future, you decide your habits, and your habits will determine your future. So be honest with yourself and make those changes and do those daily habits. All right, I'm gonna talk a little bit about emotional regulation over reacting. Oh boy, is this a good one, you guys. Anyone can show up when things feel good, right? It's easy. But when real growth happens is when you're able to pause, breathe, and lead even when things are tough. It's easy to react when a customer ghosts you rather than thinking, you know what? They just might have something else going on. You might not be a priority to them that day. That doesn't mean they're saying no to you forever or ghosting you. It's easy to spiral when team members quit versus making personal aligned decisions to your goals instead of emotional ones based off of someone else's decision. It's easy to doubt yourself when things are slowed versus thinking about what kind of income producing activity, what can I do more of? It's easy to get defensive when someone questions you versus being confident and not letting every bump in the road shake your belief in what you're doing here. All right, I challenge you, the next time you have a stressful or worrisome situation, I want you to pause and ask yourself, are these facts or is this the story I'm telling myself? Is it fact nobody wants to thrive, or is that the story you're telling yourself? Is it a fact that nobody can afford thrive? Well, we know that's definitely the story you're telling yourself because I can get it for free, dang it. Is it a fact that nobody responds to you, or are you just not doing enough reach outs to get the response you need? Where's your ratio? Is it a fact that nobody's leaving? No. Look at this room right now and all the people that are going to be joining us this afternoon. Quit telling yourself these false stories and think about it. Is this a fact, or is this the story I'm telling myself? Oftentimes, these stressful situations get resolved really quick when we become a fixer instead of an overreactor. All right. Your mindset shapes how you see others and shapes your business. If you think everyone is flaky and unmotivated and not serious, guess what you're going to attract? If you believe others have potential to change their lives with these products and the business, guess what you're going to attract simply by your belief? When you shift into a growth mindset, you're going to see potential instead of problems. You're going to see progress instead of perfection. And you're going to see people as human beings instead of volume or sign-ups. The growth mindset allows you to lead with empathy, not judgment. To follow up with confidence, not desperation. Support your team with belief, not frustration. And attract the right people by expecting the right people. I'm going to say that again. Attract the right people by expecting the right people. People rise to the level of belief you have in them, and it all starts with how you see them. So shift that lens, and you'll shift your results. Okay, I know I keep feeling like these are my favorite, but victim or victor, you choose. In this business, you're going to face challenges. You're going to have slow months. You're going to hear no, and you may even sometimes want to quit. But your mindset in those situations is going to make all the difference. A victim says, it's not fair. A victor says, I got this. A victim says, I'm stuck. Or a victor says, how can I do better? And a victim says, this isn't working. And a victor says, how can I turn this around? You know, on Wednesday we were here and I met my girl, Catherine. Where are you, Catherine? All right. Catherine, struggled with the DFT. She was having reactions, but you know what? She had a victim, not a victim mindset, a victor mindset. She tried different things. She listened to her leadership. She put that thing on the bottom of her foot, and that girl is thriving and believing in this product every single day by having that victor mindset. All right. A victim waits for something to change, and a victor makes change. You don't need perfect circumstances. You'll need a mindset of someone who refuses to give up. Every day you get to choose, will I be a victim of my excuses or a victor of my vision? We're changing lives here, you guys. Believe it, live it, and share it. Let's thrive.
There's so many things that you said. I'm like, I want that printed out. I want that printed out. I need that line. Guys, we had so much fun planning this for you because we all think the same. Like, we're very different people, but I mean, we can get on the phone and literally we could talk for days because of our personal experiences and truly the way that we think. And man, if you can leave here and just, if we can just sprinkle this out to you guys, your business will continue to grow when you leave here committed and with a mindset that is bulletproof. You do armor up. And you just make a decision to go for it. So what I want to talk to you guys about is really staying rooted in your conviction. That is something that has been, I've stayed rooted for 11 and a half years, and that's why confidence just oozes out of me, from the product to the opportunity to the community that we have. I am rooted. I'll never forget, just to give you guys a visual, I wish I'd found this picture, that we were on a leader retreat in San Diego. We had gone over to Coronado Island, and there was this tree that, like, the roots were just insane. Some of you may have remembered me posting that picture, but I sat there, I mean, literally, the roots are just, and my post was just #rooted, like no other words really needed, like rooted. And the thing is I remember telling my team this early days, that first year, guys, when you focus on what no one can negate that. Like, since when do we let someone tell us that our products are not working, or the business isn't, the opportunity isn't there, or whatever? Like, you've got to stay rooted in what you know, and no one can negate that, because there will always be distractions. But when you're so rooted, you let that go in one ear, out the other, and you can maintain your focus to grow. Let's talk about mastering the mundane. I truly believe that sometimes people give up because they're bored. Like, why did she leave? She got bored. She quit. Like, literally, but it happens. Here's the deal. I understand more than anyone what it's like to do the same thing day in and day out for over a decade. Like, I have been doing this for 11 and a half years. My story really hasn't changed. I mean, my story today that I share is still, I was a tired, exhausted mama that needed to feel better, and I needed a financial opportunity. I have shared my story over and over and over again. What if one day I just woke up and I'm just trying to share my story? I'm doing the same thing. I'm bored. Are you kidding me? You've got to learn to master the mundane. Honestly, guys, I was thinking about this the other night when they were getting ready to interview me again. Do you realize what a blessing it is to have a story that you get to share over and over again, year in and for over a decade? I was thinking about that getting ready. I'm like, my first interview was February of 2014, and here I am, 2025. And I get to share this story. Successful people realize the blessing of the mundane. Wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. Here's the deal. If you are not loving that grind, figure out some way to have some excitement in your life with the opportunity, with your Tuesday paycheck or whatever, but keep sharing your story. Don't ever stop sharing your story. Guys, that's when things go south, is when you stop sharing your story. Your story is meant to be told. It's meant to be shared. Getting that newest person on Thrive is always where the magic lies. Activity keeps you committed. Again, if you're sharing your story, you're in the grind. You're committed. There's excitement in that new people. Newsflash. We will never run out of people who are tired, exhausted, and need a financial opportunity. Wow! And you know what? I may be getting older. I may be getting closer to 50, but guess what? I'm making connections with those 20-year-old mamas, those young 30 mamas that were exactly in my shoes way back when, and I'll be doing that for the next 20 years. We don't run out of people. Activity will keep you committed, sharing your story. Lastly, and then we have some little bullet points that they're on here. I'm gonna get to these. Don't let anyone come between you and your dreams. I'm gonna be real honest. There was a situation that happened a couple of years ago, and I had some people ask me, well, how did that make you feel, and do you just want to quit? And I kind of looked at, and I'm like, okay, first of all, no, I am not going to let a decision that someone else makes come between me and where I'm going. I know where I'm going. I know what these products do for me every day. I know what this company has done for me from an opportunity standpoint. I know what happens every single Tuesday. I know that a decade into this, our company continues to innovate. We change with the times. Y'all do realize back in, I think, 2016, we tried this whole virtual thing, and I think there were we were talking to Chris last night about this, maybe 100 tickets sold or something. It wasn't the world back then. They've got 10,000 people streaming in. We knew as a company we needed to do something different to reach the masses. And this weekend is going to be wildly successful for our company and for our business. I know what has happened here and what continues to happen here. I've tasted freedom. I want it for the rest of my life. You guys need to say, I've tasted and I want it and I'm committed and I don't care what anyone does. I am not going to let a decision that someone else makes come between me and my family and where I'm going. You have to say that. Nothing is coming between you and your future. Stay rooted, stay committed. All right, I've got the slide. Woo. So I really, guys, screenshot this. I want you, we need to get this out in a PDF. We kind of actually thought that was going to be going out to everyone that had a ticket. But we've got a couple of these. I feel like these are the things we need to print and like have up in our office as a reminder. I think we've made it real clear, guys. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Anything worth having in life is hard. There's a saying. You guys know we're a baseball family. There's a saying, hitters hit. What does that mean? Hitters hit.
Take action.
You've got to be in the cages hitting. You guys are probably seeing the batting cages at our house. There's like literally at my house, ding, ding, like the noise of the bat coming off, or the ball coming off the bat is a constant at my house. That's why my son hits. Hitters hit. Are you a hitter? You've got to get in the cages. You've got to do the thing. For us, it means sharing the story, showing up daily. People are watching. How committed are you? And guess what? They're going to join who's committed. Why do I have people joining me today? Because I'm committed. Why does Sheila have the success that she's had? She's committed. People want someone to lead them. Same with Court. Same with you. Y'all, you want to just kind of share the ones that you liked? So here, I'm going to kind of go back and forth.
Ooh, that top.
Maria, I just want to say something. Whenever you're talking about being committed, I also want to say this. This is something that's really stuck with me, is the convicted cannot be manipulated. If you are convicted in your products, if you're getting up and taking them every day, if you are convicted in your dream, like you're saying, nothing's going to get in between you and your dream, you can't be manipulated. You can't be, oh, this isn't real, or I promise you every Tuesday this is real, or oh, there's something better. No, I can't be manipulated to look left and right because I am so convicted in what we have our hands on.
I love that. Don't treat, here's a good one, because I think this happened. I mean, I'll never forget that first lifestyle getaway that we went on. I don't know, we were in Cabo, there's probably 300 people. My husband goes, girl, what's going to be the downfall of your business? You got way too many people that have made way too much money for their own good. But to be honest, this is not a winning lottery ticket here. This is work. And don't treat your business like that. Luck fades, but work compounds. And don't blow your bonus money when you earn your bonus money. Like, be smart with your money. We mentioned the rinse and repeat. The price of success is effort, but the cost of neglect is failure. You've got to show up daily. And I'm telling you, when you show up daily and you create the newest story, it's addicting. You want to continue to do that. Where things go south is when you stop sharing the story to create the story.
Yeah, the only way you lose in this business is if you quit. Yeah. So if you can stay consistent and do the do, and when you are looking back and you're like, oh, I haven't been doing all the things, and you're feeling this guilt, give yourself grace and step it up. Like, you have a choice in this. This isn't my decision. This isn't Maria's decision. This isn't Courtney's decision. This is your decision to take this free business opportunity and give your family the life that they deserve. You do the do to get the get.
All right, are we
I think we're good. I think
we
you get
good?
the message. We're not going anywhere. We're staying in the trenches, and we just hope that today can be your line in the sand day. There's 2 days that are the best as an entrepreneur, and it's the day you start something and the day you go all in. And I hope today you look in the mirror and you decide to go all in. I looked at Maria Dillard on a stage in Grapevine, Texas, scared to death, was holding another girl's hand, shaking like a leaf, and I said, I'm gonna be just like you and I'm gonna be a millionaire one day. And she looked at me and she goes, I believe it, and that's all it took. It was game over. So I'm looking at you right now going, tag, you're it. It's your time.